Should you pay off your mortgage before you retire? No, and here's why. Let's talk about the big mistakes, huge mistakes that people make when they're considering paying off their mortgage right before they retire. Hi, I'm Nick Yeomans. I'm a certified financial planner and retirement coach. And today we're going to break down the pros and cons and maybe some alternative strategies to paying off the mortgage. Don't get me wrong. I love the idea of being debt free. I don't like credit card balances. I don't like car notes. I hate debt. However, wise man, Dad, aka Randy Yeomans, founder of our firm, he had a saying, I call it a Randy-ism. He said, son, never go into debt for something that won't appreciate in value. Now, if you look around this country today, we've seen explosive growth in our real estate values. I do believe that we should be very, very smart and wise with the debt that we take on. However, just blindly paying off a mortgage because that's what you're supposed to do, I think could be foolish. Let's talk about one of the biggest mistakes I see. I've seen this so many times, it almost makes me like nauseous, like I need Pepto-Bismol, and that stuff's not good for you, so I've heard. Here's the deal. One of the things that I see that just is so cringeworthy is when I meet someone who liquidated a pre-tax 401k, IRA, 403b, 457. They liquidated a pre-tax retirement account to pay off their mortgage debt so they could enter retirement debt-free. But at what cost? What cost? If they paid 24% of their balance in federal taxes when they liquidated that $100,000, that cost them $24,000 in taxes, and maybe they only owed $5,000 left in interest. I don't know what the numbers are, but you get the point. We have to do the math of what the tax cost is for the interest savings. I'm going to repeat that again because it's really important we get this. You have to do the calculation. What is the tax cost versus the interest savings? And that's math. Your CPA, your financial planner, they should be able to help you with this. And there's some great calculators online, but seek wise counsel. What you don't want to do is have a massive tax cost and really it only offset a nominal amount of interest on the mortgage. Let's talk about other solutions. If you're really at that point where you're serious about paying off the mortgage, you want to be debt free. Let's talk about a solution that we've seen work extremely successfully, even in a higher interest rate environment. Again, this is for information and education purposes only and not to be construed as advice. That's called a CYA. Let's talk about this. Okay, so there is something called a HELOC, home equity line of credit. It is based on the equity you have in your home, and it's a revolving line of credit. And what that does is it allows for you to have access to the principal balance of your home or equity in your home, and you can use it for different things. But here's something that we've seen people do successfully. If you had, let's say, $100,000 of mortgage left, and you have, let's say, $200,000 or $300,000 of equity in your home, one of the things you could ask for from your local financial institution, bank, credit union, etc., is for a no closing cost home equity line of credit for, let's say, $100,000. So what some people have been able to do is take that $100,000 from the home equity line of credit and pay off their traditional mortgage. Now, why would they do that? Well, with a mortgage, most of the time, if it's a conventional mortgage, it's fully amortized, 15 years, 30 years. You make extra payments. It doesn't change anything about your next payment. On the flip side, you have a home equity line of credit that is based on the outstanding 30 days of balance. So every time you make a payment, you make one payment, two payments, etc., towards the home equity line of credit in that 30-day period, it recalculates your interest, it recalculates your payments, etc. And so just imagine if you took the same amount of money that you're paying for your traditional mortgage, but you turn around and you started paying it towards a home equity line of credit. What's interesting is people have been able to shave years off of their loan and been able to pay off their home much faster than had they just made extra payments to their conventional mortgage. I think this is a strategy for many people to consider as they think about going into retirement debt-free or mortgage-free. I don't think you should rush it, but let's know the math. Let's know our numbers. Let's work with our financial professionals, our tax professionals, and our lenders to actually find out what the tax savings, what the interest savings would be. And please, warning, warning, warning. Please do not liquidate that pre-tax retirement account to pay off the mortgage. For most people that I've seen, that is a big, huge, big mistake. Don't do it. There's a lot of great financial educators out there. Dave Ramsey, hope you're watching. Probably not. Hope you're watching. I love Dave Ramsey. He does such a great job in communicating, and he's not animated at all. But here's the deal. He and I might disagree in this one area. I don't think most people should accelerate paying off their mortgage. We just talked about a strategy to accomplish that, but if you have a 2%, 3%, heck, 4% mortgage, think fast and do some math. Make sure that's really the right thing for you. But here's the warning. Please do not liquidate those pre-tax retirement accounts to pay off that 3% mortgage. Don't do it. Most people, that's a mistake. If you like this content, if you got something out of it, well, chances are you might like that one or that one. I don't know. Check them out. Would love to have your feedback. And until next time, stay coachable.